Why are Tanner and Mikhail trending on Twitter tonight? I wouldn't click that if I was you. Egad! A leg isn't supposed to bend like that! I'm willing to bet a lot of money that Winnipeg and Edmonton are glad that they had the night off. Huh. Everybody's hands go up, way up, as the Nashville Predators, on the back of a 33-save shutout performance by one Juuseter, defeat the Carolina Hurricanes by a score of 3-0. Thursday night, right before Good Friday, inside Bridgestone Arena. Just in time for Easter, the Easter Bunny delivers eggs for all the little good Preds girls and boys. The Preds sweep the season series for the first time in 7 years over the Carolina Hurricanes, and the Preds let the Calgary Flames, the Winnipeg Jets, and much less the rest of the NHL know that with 4 games left on their schedule, the NHL Western Conference last wildcard spot is far from being decided. So to catch you up, Preds Nation, in case you checked out of hockey since the Preds' big thrilling victory over Vegas on Tuesday, after that game, within an hour or so later, the Blackhawks, yes, the Blackhawks did the Preds a huge favor and went into Calgary and defeated the Flames in regulation, just what the Preds needed. And then last night, when the Preds had the night off, the Flames did the Preds a huge favor and went into Winnipeg and beat the Jets in regulation. Now it's the Preds' turn to hold up their end of the bargain and keep the Western wildcard spot competitive, even though the Hurricanes still have something to play for. They haven't had the Metro Division locked up just yet. They're trying to make sure the Devils don't catch them. So it's not like the Hurricanes are going to be a pushover in this game. The Preds recently signed college defenseman Jake Livingstone makes his NHL debut, has his hot lap, as Kevin Gravel is sent back to Milwaukee to help them out in the Calder Cup race. Preds and Canes showing it may be late in the season, but both of these teams still have energy to lock down official wildcard spots for themselves, including Keith Sherwood, who about 6 minutes into the game has a breakaway but is denied by Freddie Anderson for the Canes. That is almost immediately followed up by Sebastian Aho, who goes in on UC Saros, who shuts the door. About 6.5 into the first period, though, it would be Luke Evangelista who takes a delay of game penalty, putting the Canes on the power play. But never you worry, because just about a minute into the power play, Preds on a breakout is Mark Jankowski skating in on a 2-on-1, and he's got big, sexy Michael McCarron with him, and they skate into the Canes zone. Jankowski keeps it, he snaps it by Freddie Anderson, it goes in, 1-0 Preds. Preds would then also kill off the Canes power play to boot. Perfect sequence there. And then about 9 minutes into the first period, Preds added again in the Canes zone. Not Preds Nation, not even the rookie ESPN broadcast crew of Kevin Weeks and PK Subban on color are ready for this, as Michael McCarron just takes a shot on net. It ricochets, it goes in off of Freddie Anderson. It's in the net. It's a legal goal. 2-0 Preds. Couldn't have asked for a better start than that, could you, Preds Nation? Before the period is out, Keith Sherwood would take a hooking penalty, and the Preds defend well. They lock it down, and they don't let the Hurricanes set up or get a good chance, and they kill off another Canes power play. Believe it or not, Preds Nation, those 2 Preds penalties and then the Hurricanes penalty near the end of the first period that would carry over into the second period, that would be the only penalties for the entire game. The entire rest of the game was played 5-on-5. Preds unable to score with the power play late in the first period that they got awarded with, and the first period comes to an end. The Hurricanes outshooting the Preds, but the Preds holding their own, being outshot 14-8. They lead where it counts, 2-0 after the first. Yes, it's a surprise to me as I'm watching this game, as I'm sure it was to many of you with so few games left, that the Preds were holding their own, up 2-0 on the Canes. But a good reminder that the Canes are supposed to be a cup contender, so they could flip the switch like that at any moment and get right back in this game. And they would get pretty close, as we will soon see. Hurricanes generating chances as we progress into the second period. Being patient, biding their time, looking for the right moment to strike. Preds are content to play at the pace the Hurricanes are giving it to the Preds. Single shots, letting Saros see stuff, nothing sustainable, and no too little rebounds on him. We reached the halfway mark of the second period. Preds still being outshot by the Canes, but number 74 in gold, minding the net, is still in the zone. You know, if this was any other season and he was being overplayed, maybe he would get hurt. But he's well rested, composed, and he knows what the goal is for this team right now. Evangelista gets a chance close, about 7.5 left to go in the second period, but he's denied by Anderson. Preds gripping, getting a little exhausted near the end of the second period with about 4.5 left. Kokiemi comes close to beating Saros, but Saros shuts the door on him. And it's Luke Trino with about 90 seconds left who comes really close. Oh, can we just get this in the second intermission so we can all breathe, hopefully still with a 2-0 lead. And then under a minute left to go in the second period, the Canes with a shot from the point. It's Brady Shea. It looks to go in. Yes, it's in. It looks to be 2-1 Preds, but hold up. We got to go to the replay. The Preds challenge for goalie interference. And yes, Nikash, he kind of got pushed, but he had enough time that they reviewed and judged that he had enough time to get out of the net to where Saros was allowed to go to try and make the save. Nikash prevented him from doing so. No goal. Preds still up 2-0. They get to breathe. 40 minutes done, but the Canes are out shooting the Preds 26-14. As the third period starts, Preds 20 minutes away from living to see another day. Luke Evangelista comes so close to making it 3-0, but don't you worry, Luke, because your teammate Tommy Novak will keep that lead intact with a huge block to help Juuse out and keep the Preds lead 2-0. Almost 4 minutes into the third period, the Hurricanes are desperate. They're trying to find something, anything, to get past Juuse Saros. He is just outside the Preds' blue line, and Brent Burns thinks, heck, let me try something here. And Juuse Saros is caught napping. He's not paying total attention as Brent Burns just takes a shot on net. Saros doesn't see it coming. It goes in, and you think that, oh, have the Hurricanes cut the lead to 2-1? No. Almost instantaneously, PK Subban on the broadcast pointed it out that yes, with two players who hadn't cleared the zone in time, that goal is offside. The Preds don't even have to challenge. The refs confer, and yes, it's offside. Too bad, so sad. Second waved off goal of the game. Preds lead is still 2-0. And oh my God, the moment that it came the closest to it being 3-0 Preds, 7.5 into the third period, the Preds are not giving up. They're not turtling. They're not going to let the Canes come back in this game. They're attacking. They're compressing themselves right in the Carolina zone. And Ryan McDonough can see what maybe not everybody else can see, and he drives towards the net, tries to get the puck, and sitting right on the goal line, like go over, but nope, Hurricanes clear it away. Oh my God. Oh, if the Hurricanes had come back after being so close to being over right there, I would have lost it. After the halfway mark of the third period, in a matter of minutes apart, both Jake Livingstone and Spencer Stastny with great defensive plays to tie up their men, not commit a penalty, and prevent grade A scoring chances. They want to stay in the show. Just a little bit over 5 minutes left to go in regulation. Michael McCarron, big sexy, looking for his second of the game, drives in on Anderson, but gets denied. 4.5 left to go in the third period now. From the Preds getting another 2 points. The Preds are not bending. They can feel that 2 points within their grasp. As I'm sure Calgary and Winnipeg players and fans are like watching this game to the Preds. Why won't you die? You hit the 3.5 minute mark of regulation, and Freddie Anderson starts to go towards the Hurricanes net, but oh, he can see the puck coming for the empty net, and he dives back in time, stays in his net a little bit longer to say, guys, you got this, come on. Freddie Anderson is able to finally vacate his net as we wait to see if the Hurricanes can do something, anything on offense. And finally, with just about 2 3/4 left to go in regulation, from behind his own goalie's net, Dante Fabro of all people gets the puck and he just fires it. The puck has eyes. It goes 180 feet across the other end of the ice into the empty cage. The Preds lead this game 3-0. Preds still pushing until the final whistle. They don't want to give the Carolina Hurricanes any sign of life. The clock clicks down in this one. 2 triple zeros. The game is over. Preds win 3-0. And I just have one question for the Calgary Flames and the Winnipeg Jets. Can you hear the Preds now? Preds didn't have anybody else to rely on to help them in the standings Thursday night but themselves, and they got the job done. Their 40th win of the season, 3rd win in their last 4 games, 4th win in their last 6 games. The win couldn't come at a better time as the Preds head into a 2-game stretch road trip where they'll face the 2 teams they're fighting off for that last playoff spot in a wild card, the Winnipeg Jets on Saturday night in Winnipeg and Calgary next Monday. Preds have a game in hand on Calgary and have the same number of games played with Winnipeg, 78 each, but the thing that they have on Calgary and Winnipeg is that if the Preds win these 2 games in regulation, they control their own destiny the rest of the way next week as they finish out the season against Minnesota and the makeup game against Colorado a week from tomorrow. Let's do this thing! So that's it for this video. Thank you very much for watching. As always, click like if you like this video. Click subscribe if you really like it. You can find my social media by clicking on a channel name. Tell all your friends about Redemption. Rest your voice is for Saturday, Preds Nation. Very well, mind you, because not only are you going to be counted upon to help the Preds beat Winnipeg in the early game come Saturday night, in the late game, you got to be Canucks fans too, and let it be just like 2004 all over again that helped the Preds back their way into the playoffs.